Hey there guys, and welcome to another quarter-final tournament battle. This time we have ShadowRicardo94 on the right side versus Skeithwannabe on the left side, and ShadowRicardo leads with a shiny Heatran. And the other guy leads with a Meloetta. You don't ever see Meloetta, so that's pretty interesting. He goes for a Relic Song, so it's one of those form-changing Meloettas. Honestly, I don't really... Oh yeah, that move can inflict sleep. Completely forgot about that. Gets rid of the air balloon as well. I guess he's gonna nail it with a stab close combat now, or something. Also, it's kinda scary that Heatran's eyes don't close while it's sleeping. Kinda creeps me out. Anyway, switch out Heatran, brings in Clefable. Because it does resist fighting moves now. It's a fairy type, not a normal type anymore. Unlike, say, Wigglytuff, which is now normal and fairy type. So down go his defenses. Clefable heals a little bit with leftovers. So gonna be setting up on the Meloetta here as he goes for another Relic Song. It's not gonna do much now because it's using the crappy special attack of whatever that form is called. And puts Clefable to sleep as well. Yes, I'm aware that at this point in time, the sleep clause, I guess it's kind of broken. But I've been searching around and it's kind of ambiguous as to whether Relic Song counts towards that. Because there's not a 100% chance of it inflicting sleep. Anyway, he goes for a Psychic, gets a critical hit, and it knocks out Clefable, so gets a lucky break there. So I decided... Okay, I guess Relic Song, because it doesn't always result in sleep, you don't really have any control over it, whether you put your opponent to sleep or not, so I'm gonna assume that it's fine. Anyway, brings in Mega Scizor, goes for a Bullet Punch, and that is definitely gonna take out Meloetta. So that's a pretty good showing for a Meloetta. I don't think I've ever seen one do that well before. In comes Charizard. Scares the Scizor out into Rotom Washing Machine, because that's the only Rotom that anyone ever bothers to use. And it's Mega Charizard X. So Fire Dragon versus Electric and Water. And for some reason he went for Roost. Was he expecting Mega Scizor to attack him? With what? Charizard resists Steel, resists Bug? Anyway, he switches out, brings in Goodra. And that Volt Switch does nothing. That is so impressive. Honestly, Goodra is just awesome. Just imagine how broken Goodra would be if Permanent Rain was still a thing. And wow, he totally nailed that prediction. Nailing the Tangrowth with the Fire Blast, but it still doesn't do all that much. And there goes Goodra's Assault Vest. I'm gonna guess that the Tangrowth is also holding an Assault Vest. Because Tangrowth's special defense isn't that good, and it took that Fire Blast a little too well. That one was perhaps a little too obvious. So Heatran's got a Flash Fire boost now. But Goodra has Earthquake. Nice, it's a mixed one, and that Earthquake is gonna deal with the Heatran. So Skeithwannabe is on a roll here. Taking out 2 Pokemon already. Only lost 1, but in comes Black Kyurem. More black and purplish white and neon green Kyurem. Goes for an Ice Beam. Goodra barely lives. Oh boy. Oh boy, Draco Meteor. Is Kyurem gonna be screwed here? Although I do think it's quite bulky, so it might survive this. Or it might not. Holy crap, Goodra, you are kicking way too much ass. So down goes Black Kyurem, in comes Mega Scizor again. Probably gonna revenge kill, yep, Bullet Punch. I guess, well, Goodra was probably doomed anyway. It probably wasn't gonna be much use anymore. So I can understand why he let it die there. In comes Keldeo, resists Steel. I think Fighting resists Bug, though I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of an ambiguous matchup. As he brings in... Ricardo brings in Rotom. He sets up a Calm Mind. Good call. Substitute. Okay. Oh, Volt Switch, nice. He's gonna be able to not die from that and see what he brings in. Although that is gonna break the substitute, definitely. Even at +1. Because even at +1 special defense, Keldeo is still not that bulky. Okay, we got Mega Scizor again. It's not like Ricardo really has much choice anyway. I mean, all he has left now are Mega Scizor, Rotom Wash, and Tangrowth. So a +1 Sacred Sword doesn't even do half. Probably one of those specially bulky Mega Scizors. I think I have one of those as well. I don't really use it that much, though I prefer the offensively oriented one. Anyway, U-turn does some damage, comes in with the Tangrowth. And Keldeo gets a little bit of leftovers recovery. And Tangrowth doesn't, which further leads me to believe that it's an Assault Vest one. Tangrowth definitely makes good use of an Assault Vest though. It's got plenty of good offensive moves, it gets Knock Off, it gets Giga Drain to keep its health up. I'd say Tangrowth may very well be one of the best users of Assault Vest in the entire game. I think I have one of those as well actually, I haven't used it much. He goes for another Calm Mind. I'm not entirely sure why. It's a little risky. Maybe... No, he's just gonna keep going for Giga Drain. He's not gonna go for Knock Off or anything. But the Calm Mind did help him to survive that, so maybe that's why he did it. Anyway, unless he has Icy Wind, I don't really see him doing too much damage. Also, why the bloody hell does Keldeo not get Ice Beam? Every bloody water type gets Ice Beam, but Keldeo. But that Sacred Sword, holy crap, that did or Secret Sword, I should say, did a lot of damage. Not quite enough, though. Because it doesn't... Secret Sword, I think it hits the physical defense, which, for Tangrowth, is pretty damn awesome. Anyway, he traces Regenerator with Porygon 2, that might help him out. Because Porygon 2... With Trace, I have one of those. It definitely has an Eviolite on it. The only item worth using on Porygon 2. And it is awesome. So he gets a Toxic on the Rotom. That is definitely going to help out in the long run. Will-O-Wisp. Could be worse. If his Porygon is like mine, he definitely will have the Recover on it, making the burn damage a minor nuisance at best. Anyway, he has Tri-Attack. Mine doesn't have that. I think I have an Eviolite Porygon 2 as well. Mine has Recover, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and I think Thunder Wave or Toxic. Either one of those. Goes for Pain Split, even though they're really not all that far apart HP-wise. Okay, so he's got Toxic, Shadow Ball, Tri-Attack, and presumably Recover. I guess Normal and Ghost is pretty decent type coverage. I mean, are there things that resist both Normal and Ghost? I don't think there are, actually. I was thinking of maybe, like, Spiritomb, but first. Because it's immune to Tri-Attack, but Dark resists Ghost, but Ghost is weak to Ghost, so Shadow Ball is neutral on Spiritomb. So I guess he can hit everything for at least neutral damage with the Porygon 2. I think Ice Beam and Thunderbolt also complement each other really well in that regard. Anyway, he keeps going for Pain Split. The battle is definitely not going anywhere fast at this point. It was a lot faster earlier, but now it seems to be slowing down to a crawl. Just kind of trying to stall each other out, but Rotom really isn't all that good at stalling. That's what a lack of reliable recovery will do for you. If you try and wall someone with a Pokemon that doesn't have like Recover or Roost or similar moves, you're not gonna last very long in most situations. See, he can just go for a Recover now and boom, all the way right back up to over half. Sure, the burn is gonna take a little bit away from that, but still not all that much. I mean, the poison is taking away way more from him, dealing with the Rotom. So all ShadowRicardo94 has now are Tangrowth and Mega Scizor, while Skeithwannabe still has Porygon 2. I want to say Mega Charizard X, I don't think that one went down yet. A few others. He definitely has more than 2 at this point. I kinda lost count. Anyway, he goes for another recover. Gets his health almost back up to full before the burn takes a little bit of weight. And Scizor goes for Bullet Punch. And it does nothing. I go for Tri-Attack. I'm guessing he would like to get Scizor burned. However, there's not that much of a chance of that happening with Tri-Attack. I think it has like a 20% chance of inflicting either burn, freeze, or paralysis. So you're looking at like a 6 to 7% chance of getting a burn on it. That's actually not that much worse than most fire moves though. Apart from the ones like Lava Plume or Inferno. I wish Inferno was better. That 50% accuracy, that's terrible. Anyways, Tangrowth also has Focus Blast, but it misses. That's Focus Blast for you. Anyway, he really needs to get a recover up with Porygon 2, because it's not going to last much longer. He does outspeed the Tangrowth, so he's not going to be able to get killed off this turn. Oh crap. He's not going to like that though. The knockoff gets rid of the Eviolite, making Porygon 2 a lot easier to deal with. That's kind of why I dislike the prevalence of knockoff this generation. It absolutely ruins Eviolite Pokemon. And I like using certain Eviolite Pokemon. Eviolite Dusclops is one of my favorite things to use. And I've used an Eviolite Rhydon once. It was amazing. In the Sandstorm, there is like no special attack that can bring that thing down. Anyway, the burn is going to take out Porygon 2 now. It's a shame, it battled valiantly. In comes whatever that is. Trevenant. Interesting. Goes for Protect. I guess just to scout out. Even though we've pretty much seen all the time. Oh yeah, he was poisoned. That's why he protects. Because now the poison is going to take out Tangrowth. And all Ricardo has left now is Mega Scizor. So if Trevenant has Destiny Bond, he can pretty much end it right here. U-turn. He can't switch out into anything else, so he's really just trying to pile the damage on, and wow, that Trevenant took that really well. Leech Seed, things are not looking up for Scizor. If it has Swords Dance, I guess it could start boosting up now and then just smash through Trevenant and everything else in its way. But, I would assume that if it had Swords Dance, it would have used it by now. So, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. Earthquake, and it's one of those Harvest Trevenant, so those things are so mean. That Citrus Berry recovery is way too good. Although I've also seen ones that keep harvesting the Lumberry and then just use Rest or whatever. Although I guess Citrus Berry might be a bit more helpful because it doesn't take up a move slot, although it does make you a lot more vulnerable to Toxic or Burn or whatever. Goes for another Earthquake. Presumably just trying to get some damage on. But if the Scizor keeps roosting, that's not really going to work for him. So really, this could be going on for quite a while. With both sides adding on a bit of damage and both sides healing up well before the other side has a chance at taking them out. Honestly, I kinda wish Trevenant just had Destiny Bond at this point. But then Ricardo gives up and Skeithwannabe moves on. Congratulations!